Exponent rules 3, 0 and negative exponents. A quick review of where we've been. We had the quotient of powers rule, which looked something like this. X to the 5th power divided by x to the 3rd power became x to the 5 minus 3, which became x to the 2nd power. We had the product of powers rule, which said I'm going to take x to the 5th times x cubed. That became x to the 5 plus 3, which equaled x to the 8th power. And then our most recent rule, the power of powers. So that said I want to take x to the 5th power to the 3rd power, and this is where we took and multiplied those exponents to get x to the 15th. 0 exponent rule. These are very easy, and it's the one thing that people tend to forget. So pretty much anything, any number, any variable raised to the 0 power equals 1. Anything. And you can try this on your calculator. So if I take 7 to the 0 power, it's 1. If I take 215,625 raised to the 0 power, it equals 1. Y to the 0 power equals 1. W to the 0 power equals 1. 3x squared y to the 0 power, because the whole parentheses is raised to the 0 power, equals 1. Negative exponents. Again, a very easy idea. We've had some negative exponents we've practiced with, but we have to learn that we're not allowed to have negative exponents, but easy fix. So a negative exponent is reciprocal. You remember the word reciprocal from dividing fractions. So 2 to the negative 1 becomes 1 over 2. 3 to the negative 1 becomes 1 over 3. 1 over 5 to the negative 2 becomes 5 squared. The rule here is that anything raised to a negative power becomes its reciprocal with a positive. So if I do x to the negative 2 divided by y to the negative 3, the x to the negative 2 idea would move down so that the 2 could become positive, and the y cubed, or y to the negative 3, would move up so it could become y to the positive 3. And that's how the negative exponents rule works. So I'm going to let you practice this just a little bit. We're going to put this all together with the other rules that you've studied. So looking here first, again we want to first deal with the power of a power, because I see the parentheses in the outside exponent. So I'm going to have on top 3 to the 3rd power. I know x will be negative 1 times 3. Y will be 2 times 3. And at the moment my denominator will stay the same. So again, we're doing a rewrite to show we have understanding. Now we're going to go ahead and take care of what we see here as our quotient rule. There's our division bar. So in this step, and I'm going to move down here, I have 3 to the 3rd power, which is 27. I'm going to leave that on top. Then I have x to the negative 3 minus 3, and y to the 6 minus 7 all over 4. Then we need to think about simplifying a step further. So I have 27x to the negative 6, y to the negative 1 over 4. Remember that we are not allowed to have the negative exponents, so our new rule needs to take care of that. So when we're finished, we have 27, oops, not 24, 27. So 27 over 4x to the positive 6, y. You could say y to the 1 if it makes you more comfortable, but we know we don't have to do that. One more time. Yes, this looks like a mess, but you can do this, and if you can, these are high-level questions on your exam. So first things I notice, I do have parentheses and an outside power, so I'm going to tackle that first. So working here, I've got 6 to the second power, x to the 2 times 2, times x cubed, y to the 5th, z to the 0, divided by 12x to the negative 3, y squared, z to the negative 7. Alright, next rule that I see, I notice I have this parenthesis times this parenthesis. So there's that product rule that we learned in the first lesson. So now again down here, I've got 6 squared, which is 36. I have x to the 4 plus 3, y to the 5th, z to the 0, divided by 12, x to the negative 3, y squared, z to the negative 7. Thinking about this now, I've got this 4 plus 3. We know that 4 plus 3 becomes a 7. So I've taken care of my product rule. Now I can take care of that quotient rule. So what happens up and down as I go through this? So again here, I've got 36 divided by 12, which is a 3. I have x to the 7 minus a negative 3. I have y to the 5 minus 2. I have z to the 0 minus 7. Again, think about what you can change things to. So 7 minus a negative 3 becomes 10. 5 minus 2 becomes 3. And 0, I'm sorry, let me change that one. That should be 0 minus a negative 7. So 0 minus a negative 7 becomes 7. So what looked like a huge mess now looks pretty nice when we're finished with it. I'm going to let you practice a couple of these. So in conclusion, we added our last two rules, the idea that anything raised to the 0 power has a value of 1, and any time that we have negative exponents, we need to move the piece with the negative exponent in reverse and make that exponent positive.